What's going down? How you guys doing? I am doing absolutely amazing. I'm trying to excuse me. I'm trying to get my stuff working. Apparently it says I'm on, but Facebook is like, bro, I don't see you, folks. Hold on, here we go. Boop. Let's switch some stuff up. Scale, okay. Got our stuff going. Hello, Miss Jessica. How are you, dear? I had to. Can you hear me, Jessica? Am I good? Okay, give me 1 second. I gotta switch out. I think they said I just talked to Jerry. Jerry's like, we need to sync our clocks. I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's being funny or not. Hey, what's going on? How are you guys? You guys good? Okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to go in and change. What are we doing? Okay. Okay, this will be part two. Oops, part two. Put that up there. Save that. And then we can hopefully jump in and get this thing started. Can we guys, I think hold on. She says what? D's back? Okay. Hello dear. How are you? All is well. All is well. For sure. So I today actually we're gonna go ahead and get started right quick because I just want to jump in. Well, I guess we'll wait a minute. Wait a couple minutes. Anyway, she said good to be here. Dorian, I'm gonna clap for you. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Thank you. You see that? See the amazing D is back. When are you ever coming back to Omaha? Like never. It's all good. You can be honest. She said, no, thank you. I got you. That works. Boy, not. No, she said never. Damn. Hey, Renita, what's going on, dear? My mad scientist. I was just talking to somebody about you today. It was funny. I'm like, man, every time I think we were no, I think we were talking about our podcast. I think it was yesterday, maybe, and we were talking about just different people that have like all of these different ideas, and you came to mind. Oh, what is tomorrow? Oh shoot, tomorrow's Thursday. Give me a second. Sorry, guys. Hold on 1 second. Okay, cool. Miss Anya, I have an appointment to go to tomorrow morning at 10:30. Please remind me, because you know me, I will forget, and you are kind of like my personal assistant. So I have a meeting tomorrow at 10:30. Please remind me. How's your everything's going good? Renita, how was your day today? Thank you. And it's crazy that what was this that 30 years, no, 33 years later, Dorian, we would actually be I would be doing something like this. Isn't that crazy? Guys, I've been knowing Dorian since I was like what, 12 or 13? Like yeah. I think 12 or 13 years old. Isn't that fun? Isn't that crazy? Thank you, dear. Thank you. She said, cool. I don't forget your appointment. I know you won't, dear. That's why I told you. And I just got a birthday wish from my that lives in LA. I know where she lives, dear. Everybody, today is hold on, no. Everyone's here. So I'm talking to Jerry. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I think you're a year younger than me. So yeah, we've been knowing each other since we were 12 and 13 years old. Yep. Isn't that crazy? And now that I think about it, I don't remember who else besides Dorian. No, actually I do. There's a dude named Joseph, and he has a brother named Daryl. Joseph Daryl Taylor. He's probably no Jermaine, and I think another dude named Leon. So I remember people's names, but I haven't seen them in years. Oh, okay. Apparently, yeah. Jerry said he's here, but we can't see him. Have you guys seen Jerry on? I haven't seen him. Here, Jerry, let me say hello just to see if you can see that. I'm also streaming on Twitch now, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't know what that was until a few days ago, but I am also streaming on there. Can you see it? Can you see us, Jerry? All right, there you are. Did you have to reset? Ladies and gentlemen, we are not having technical difficulties. Um, the way that this whole thing works is that anytime you're using somebody else's platform, which I'm using this platform called StreamYard, anytime you use StreamYard, I use StreamYard and it spiders out. So I have Twitch, I have Facebook, obviously, I have YouTube on here. So I got about 3 or 4 different channels streaming at the same time. So if I don't, yeah. So I think that that's another reason why you guys, it's like a 60-second delay. It's because of that. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, look at that. Everybody's saying hello. I love it, man. We're building our own little community. Yeah. Hello. Miss ain't for that. She said, I ain't for it. That's what she said. She said, I ain't for it. Everybody, if you would take a second and give a round of applause, and can we give a special happy birthday to Miss Anya? Today she is 37 years young. She is 37 years young. That is one of our good friends. She is absolutely an amazing individual. I know that her and Christopher, or her boyfriend, are watching. I took her out for lunch today. I said, honey, you can go wherever you want. So am me. Tell me where you want to go. Anywhere. I thought she was going to say, Fearless, I want to go to Cheddar's because that's her favorite restaurant. You know what she says, y'all? She says, I want to go to Village Inn. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, that's where I want to go. I want to go to Village Inn for my birthday today. I said, okay. We went to Village Inn. Like, again, at the end of your show. Okay, I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, please. Oh, you know what? We can do that. Matter of fact, you know what? Hey, Miss Anya, I'm going to sing it for you real fast before we get started. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Anya. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Anya. Look at this. You're getting all this love here. Dorian and Miss Renita, my mad scientist. Everybody's trying to say hello. Look at that. And they're singing to you. Look at all these people singing to you, Miss Anya. Thank you guys so much for making my friend feel welcome. Thank you guys so much. Did you have a pretty good birthday today, Miss Anya? Did you have a good birthday? I know we tried to hang out and I bought her a book because we went to a thrift market today. And you know me, I'm going to buy some books, right? And I bought her a book. And then I bought myself this like old fashioned telephone. Oh, Anya, it works too. I switched out the battery. Works. It's actually a. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Anya. She says, I'm so happy. Christopher just sent me a text message. Thanks, Chris. He sent me a text message like, hey, we should sing happy birthday to her at the end of your show. Fuck that, man. Anya comes first. We can do that first. She said, I'm not young, I'm old. Okay. That's fine, Miss Anya. That's cool. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Without further ado, let's go. What's going down, ladies and gentlemen? If you're new to our channel, we so appreciate you showing up. My name is Fearless Cummings. I am the host and life coach of this experiment called Axe Fearless. Again, thank you. I've been coaching for about 23 years. Um, this is our 34th episode. Clap for yourselves. Clap for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Like I say, hey, what's going on, Yadira? Today is Anya's birthday. We all sang happy birthday to her. So if you could just put a couple musical tunes on there, that'd be great. But today is 34 episodes, ladies and gentlemen. 34. I'm extremely. And here's the thing: if you don't clap for you, who the fuck else will, right? As your life coach, I am here. Oh, here, Miss Anya. We got some messages for you from Yadira. As your life coach, I want to make sure. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull my screen up because I think today we're gonna have a pretty cool little show. There is usually a 60-second delay of what you see and hear, which if you're new to this is kind of Everybody else who's already here, we already know it. Awesome. I love that. That is awesome. I love that. Good job. I'm loving it. That's great, dear. Make sure you go. Okay, but anyway, so there is usually a 60-second delay. So sorry if you say something. Hey, Anita, what's going on, dear? Say happy birthday to Miss Anya. Up to there it is. She's already on it. Look at that, another one, Anya. You're catching them as they come in. Um, but yeah, so there's a bit of a 60-second delay. Chill. We'll get through it. We're right now we're just in the experimental stage. So for right now, this is where we are. Um, again, like I said, today is our 34th. Our 30, yes, you heard me right. This is our 34th episode, season 4, episode 34. Tomorrow is 35. But we ain't counting tomorrow because we're right here, right? Stop looking forward and kind of looking now. I appreciate y'all for showing up. And so today, where we at? We're gonna do a part 2 of Hero's Journey, kind of like what we were talking about yesterday about that each and every single one of us is gonna have to go through this particular journey, and it's a journey that all of us will have to take, all of us, regardless of what your dream goal or aspiration is, whatever your problems are. We're all gonna go through the same exact journey to get to the other side. So my job as your host and life coach is to give you these this perspective and kind of prepare you for what's coming. Okay, I don't want to scare you. I want to prepare you for what's coming. So yeah. So without further ado, again, my name is Fearless Cummings. I am a life coach. I have been coaching for about 23 years. I graduated from the Meta Institute with a plethora of different certifications that you can see. But if you cannot read, I will read them out for you. Certification in therapeutic coaching, master practitioner of NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming. Look that shit up. Certified master practitioner of NLP, certified master hypnotherapist. Yes, that is real. Certified master practitioner of humanistic neurolinguistic psychology. I also have a bunch of other certifications as well. Get some water, buddy. I don't feel like reading them off at this point because we be here all night. So again, I do come with a warning as your life coach. For those of you who already know, disregard, go do something else for a little bit. Go to the bathroom, take me with you. For those of you who don't know, if you're easily offended, my brother and sister will gladly tell you what you've won. But if you don't like to take accountability, if you don't like doing the work, if you steadily feel like you have to complain, this probably isn't for you and you should bugger off. But if you're cool with taking accountability, if you're okay with doing the work, putting that work in, you're more than welcome to stay and welcome to Fearless Cummings or welcome to Axe Fearless. You know what I mean? Hold on, please. Sorry about that. Had a buddy just hanging out in the kitchen. Like, we not doing that. No, sir. You like to take people's shit. So anyway, as my brother, Mr. Gerald Baker says, you are more than welcome to fuck off. That's what you can do. Again, if you don't like to take accountability, if you like to make excuses for shit, if you don't want to put the work in, bro, that's what you can do. Okay. So what am I here to do? Very simply, let me tell you what I don't do, and then I'll tell you what I will do. Okay. Number one, I'm not here to motivate you because you don't need motivation. As Jessica says, you may need a little discipline, inspiration, maybe. Motivation, not at all. You're already motivated. Number two, I'm not here to coddle or sugarcoat anything. Okay, I think you get enough of that shit. A kind word As Miss Renita would say, yes, but sugarcoating, we ain't doing all that. If you have a dream, goal, or aspiration, my job as a life coach is to help you. But here's the thing, I cannot and I will not want it more than you. I'm going to say that one more time. I cannot and I will not want it more than you. So if you don't put the work in, you ain't going to get the credit. I can only help you with what you allow me to help you with, but I'm not going to build it for you, period. Number four, I'm not here to fix you because you're not broke. Bent, cracked, ding, scuffed, scarred, fuck yes. Broke, not at all. So, what am I here to do? Well, I'm here to give you some practical tools, tips, and strategies to face your dreams, goals, and aspirations, right? Not run away from them, to face that shit. So, how do I do it? By helping you to reframe your fears, doubt, success, overthinking, how you think about what you think about. I don't care what you think about, but I do care how you think about it. Okay? And from there, we can rebuild like the fucking phoenix. Yes? Can I get a hell yes? Can I get a hell yeah before we get started? Because we are going to rebuild, right? You knock it down, fuck it, we'll rebuild it. That's how we do. And don't trip. I ain't monetizing any of this. At least not now. Later, probably. Today, it's live. Fuck it. Let's have some fun. So, the two things that we talk about before we talk about anything else, number one is accountability. Okay, the state of being answerable, liable, and responsible. Answerable means that we do not make excuses. We don't blame nobody for our shit. We take it all because that's what we do. Liable, we keep our word. So if we say something, oh, you best believe it's about to happen. Responsible, we down to take that action. Okay? Because being actionable, it's being responsible. Okay? So responsibility, what does that mean? Well, I will tell you because that's my fucking job. So the state of being answerable for what's within your control. Think about that. You have to be answerable for what's within your control. So if it's not in your control, you can't be responsible for it. We're going to touch on that a little bit. Not today, but we're going to touch on that. A philosopher friend of mine, we were talking about this, and I'm going to throw this out there. And I just kind of want to see where you guys, if you guys understand where I'm going with this. So I tell you that you need to understand where your responsibility starts and stops, right? I'm going to throw something out there at you. If you were standing out there and you were watching somebody like George Floyd and an officer or whomever is sitting there with their knee on the back of his neck, and this could be anybody, not just him, at that point, it is your responsibility to fucking intercede. That is your duty. That is your obligation as an American to intercede in that. So there are certain things, ladies and gentlemen, that may be a bit out of our purview, but we are still responsible and accountable for what we're allowing to happen. Okay? As soon as he said that to me, I'm like, fuck. Now I got to reiterate that. So we're not going to discuss it right now, but there are certain things outside of your purview that you are still responsible for. Did you guys agree? I'm going to go ahead and write in hell yeah. Oh, please. Right? Just because it's outside of your purview don't mean that you're not responsible. Okay? So what does actionable mean? Action, energy, attitude, choices, emotions, those are yours. Okay? That's our shit. That's what we do. All right. So what is repetitive? Everything. Everything that we do here on Acts Fearless is repetitive. Everything. Anything worth knowing, learning, teaching, understanding will revolve around this one word, which is repetition. 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 Sorry. Okay. Without further ado, please go grab yourself a pen, a pad, or whatever you want to write with. If you need to record this shit, record it. Screenshot. We'll get to that in a minute. Do whatever you need to do to stay focused. So if you need some snacks, some drinks, grab it. But make sure that you grab your dreams, your goals, aspirations, and no problems if you got them.
Hey, Dad,
Yes.
can I have some cereal?
I don't care, son.
Thank
You're good. Live, right? Live. Who cares? No one. Anyway, write that shit down. Okay? Write it down. It's crazy. We do this every night. 8:30. Every night. Dad, gun. This dude. This dude. This dude. All right, let's move on. Screenshot. You know what to do. Turn your camera. Take a pic. All right, let's keep it pushing. Jerry, what am I gonna ask? No, actually, no. Yachty, you showed up tonight. Answer the question, ma'am. If I were a police officer and I pulled you over, you rolled down the window. After I ask you, what are you wearing? Perfume wise, I'm going to ask you for 3 questions. What are those 3 questions I'm going to ask you? From east to west, north to south, state to state, city to city, every cop is trained to ask the same exact question, the same exact way. Miss Yadira, could you go ahead and just give us the 3 questions they're gonna ask you? If you need help from your husband Benito, ask him. But I need the answer. The rest of us will wait for you. Hold on. All right, here it is. Do you know why I pulled you over? License registration. Okay. What else? Oh, well, you know what? There's usually one thing, something else that they need. Technically, they need this more than they need the registration. So license, you're right. Registration, yes, but technically they don't need that because they got the plate number. So they can usually tell if you don't have that sticker on there, whatever. But there's one more thing, ma'am. What else are they going to ask you for? And yes, they will ask you, do you know what I pulled you over for? Thank you, insurance. Sorry. Hold on. Sorry. Thank you, D. Said we love the love. All right, thank you, and you're right. Do you know I pulled you over? If you remember, I said, if they ask you this question, say no. Because as soon as you say yes, that's an admission of guilt. Just on it. Just telling you. It's an admission of guilt. So if they ever ask you, do you know why I pulled you over? Say, no, I don't know why you pulled me over. Just saying. So, insurance, yes. Could be even D's like yes. And Jerry said that a girl. Good job. Thank you. See, that's what I'm talking about. That motherfucking class participation. That's what I'm saying. As your life coach, as your host, as your reframing expert, I'm going to ask you 3 questions if I'm working with you. Number one, what are your dreams, goals, aspirations, and oh my God, burp. Sorry. Live, like I said, right? Live. And values. What are your values? Look at this. Even Miss Anya is like, hey, value comes first. I got to do my laundry. Right? Second thing, I'm going to ask you about your constitution. I'm going to ask you about your principles, your values, or not values, your ethics, your morals. Do you have them written down? What about your pledge that you have to yourself or your personal mission statement? Do you have any of this stuff written down? Can I see it? Okay. I'm asking, can I see it? Now, like everything else, me first, right? So my first thing is my son, okay, which obviously he loves to interrupt me no matter what I'm doing. because they don't give a shit. But I do. So, number one, my kid. Number two, reading, learning, teaching, all that good stuff. And number three, stay solid in my principles and my character, right? Stay solid, man. That, what? Who needs that? D's like, nope, they could care less. My constitution states, and I ain't gonna go through all of it. I'm gonna give you my top three favorites. Be the best father I can be. Stay calm and solid in my character, and then lead by example, even if I'm alone. Even if I'm alone, those are my top three favorites. The rest of them, I still fuck with too, but those are my favorites. Hold on. Anyway, let's jump in. There's my oath. Boom. Hold on, hold on. She said that's a no. I don't have any of it written down. Hit me up, D. I got you. I got you. I helped Jerry with his Miss Renita, the mad scientist, and where's Rebecca, Jerry? And I've helped Rebecca with hers. So if you need help creating yourself, let me know. I got you. But again, I'm not gonna want it for you. I'll do it. I will help you build it if you bring me something. So that means we got to work together on that. But I would love to help you. What about you, Anita? You real quiet around here. Do you have your stuff? Or do we need to work on some shit? And like anything else, please ask as many questions as humanly possible because although my although these lessons, these trainings, these Jessica, we may have to create a different word. She's getting it. Okay. Hey, what's going on, Rebecca? Um, training is fine too. That's fine. These tools, techniques, strategy sessions. I like that strategy sessions. Um, here's the thing: they're all cookie cutter, which basically means I keep a lot of this stuff in here. I just kind of swap out what I need, and that's really it. The part that works with this is the questions you ask. You know what I mean? So the more questions you ask, the more personalized it becomes, if you will, right? So yesterday, real fast, we talked about the first five stages of the hero's journey. The hero's journey is this thing that each and every one of us will go through in life, and it starts from where we are right now, just kind of kicking back, chilling, living an ordinary life, nothing more, nothing less. It's just day in, day out, you live your life, you do your thing, you fuck off, right? And then you get this proverbial call to action. This call to action can be this little chitter chatter in your mind that's like, damn, I should be doing this, or maybe I should be doing that, right? And that's really all it is. You know what I mean? Give me 1 second. So, but that's literally all it is just that chitter chatter back and forth. You know what I mean? In your mind. And like most of us who get that chitter chatter, we disregard it, which is number three. We disregard it. And it's like, you know what? That's not for us. And then we make excuses for why we can't do shit. Right. And then, so for my case, years later, I run across a person that ordinarily I wouldn't have talked to for the most part, who inspired me to do something. Hey, what's going down? Who inspired me just by telling me something she did. And now 35 days later, we're doing this. Excuse me, 34 days later, we're doing this, right? And then crossing the threshold is what? It's taking that initial step. Because for the most part, I think that's the scariest. Would you guys say? Give me a hell yeah. That's the scariest part sometimes. I'll go first. That's the scariest part sometimes about this whole thing is just putting that first step out because it's uncertainty. You're scared as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not going to really know what you're doing. You have no idea. You don't know if it's gonna work. You don't know if anybody's gonna show up. But the thing is that you gotta show up. Like I said before, man, you have to be first. You know what I mean? So it's easy to sit and try to tell somebody else what they could be doing or should be doing. But if you're not doing it, you can't expect somebody else to do it. Why do you think we clap for ourselves? That's our thing because if you don't clap for you, nobody else will either. And for the most part, you give people permission. You give people permission to clap for you when you clap for yourself. I know that that's a real trivial way of looking at shit, but honest to God, that's what it is. If you're not willing to clap for you, or do for you, or show up for you, or believe in you, it's gonna get tricky. It's not impossible, but it's gonna get tricky to listen to that call of adventure when it calls you. God, the universe, whatever you want to think it is, calls you. You can always knock it down. Like, I don't need to hear any of that, right? But either way, let's move on. Uh, again, we already talked about that. That's the book right there. Um, The Hero of a Thousand Faces. I'm telling you, one of the greatest books pertaining to that person. You know what? Let me rephrase that. It was a good book. Not one of the best, though. I mean, again, you're talking to somebody who loves to read. It was a good book, but it wasn't the best. He has way better other works. It was cool, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like, oh my God. But the principles in it were phenomenal. And that's what I'm teaching you, the principles, right? So part two, ladies and gentlemen, of the hero's journey. You like that shit? That was very sensual, wasn't it? Of course it was. Right? Right? Very sensual. Good shit. All right, let's go. All right, so we're gonna just kind of jump on in there. So number 6, remember number 5 was you after you cross that threshold, right? So now we're in the belly of the beast now, right? So now we have the emotional triggers, we got those old patterns resurfacing. If you guys remember, do you remember when I was teaching you about your learning curve? And remember when I told you that you go up this little hill and then like again you're trucking along, trucking along, and then you get to this precipice, which means cliff, and then you fall straight down, right? Do you guys remember when we talked about that? Can I get a hell yeah? That you guys remember that learning curve, and then you go down. And I told you that there's two places where you want to be. All the way at the beginning, because you don't know that you don't know, right? You don't know anything, right? And then right there, when you know enough that you're like, I don't understand what I'm doing. I don't get this, right? When you're there, that's the best place to be. Can anybody tell me why that's the best place to be? Why is that dip when you fall down? Can anybody tell me why is that the best place to be? Thank you, Miss Renita. But can you guys tell me why that's the best place to be when you're confused, when you're frustrated? Thank you. Can you guys tell me like why is it good to be frustrated? Why is it good to be confused? What's behind that? What's right after confusion, frustration, uh, uh when you're pissed off, especially when you're learning something? What's after? What's after that? Yes, I mean, and you're right. It's It makes you like right, makes you grind harder. It's yes. There you go. That's when you learn. That there you go. That's where clarity comes from. You okay? What? You good? Want some water? Okay, go ahead. Um, yes. Learning and implementation. That you guys are all right. You guys are all right. That's literally what do you that you guys are all right. Right? As soon as you're there, that's where that learning takes place because that's that aha moment. Right? That's when you're like, "Oh shit. Now I get this." That's where you are. Now, if you really think about it, before that, you were where you were confused. You didn't know until somebody came along, a coach, a mentor, a teacher, somebody came along and said, boom, there you go. There you go. Yes. Yep, Renita. You find understanding after confusion. Yes. And you're all right. Thank you. I'm not gonna lie to you. That makes me feel amazing to know that you guys pay attention to this shit. Cause sometimes I think, as most people will tell you, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I'm a bit of a talker. I like to talk. I like it. I'm like addicted to this shit. Right? Between myself and Miss Anya, we about to do all kind of shit out here, right? But but that's when unfortunately the shit usually hits the ground too, right? Is yes, Rebecca, I am a talker. I don't know if you know that or not, but I am. Wow, y'all dirty for this shit. I feel attacked. Kind of like when we were talking about the Teslas yesterday. What? Two motherfuckers like what? No, you? No. Fuck y'all. Anyway, uh, but like, but that's the really shitty part about this though, is because that's like once you find that mentor, once you find all of those people that are or that person that's helping you to get over that threshold, unfortunately, um that's when that's unfortunately that's really when you meet you. I don't think there's any better way to say it. That's when you are face to face with yourself. And not only face to face with yourself, but you're face to face with your future self. Think about it. We all have this, I think we all have this ideology of the type of people that we want to become. Like I want to be this, I want to do that, I want to right? But there's gonna come a time when the old you comes face to face with the new you. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. Some people go back as opposed to trek forward. Some people will go back dead ass. That's how that happens. And I'm not necessarily saying that's a good thing or bad thing. It is for you. I don't know what that is. And I've done that several times. I got close to that precipice of myself, and then I went back the other way. Something didn't work out. I was too scared. I was too this. I was too that. Now I just said, fuck it, man. I'm 46 years old. What the fuck am I waiting for? Let's go. Right? So here we are. So then you start to discover new tools, new habits, healthier people. My friend Jessica will tell you that since I started doing this, I started holding myself and other people around me more accountable than I had before. See, it's one thing to sit around talking about the shit. It's something totally different when you act on it and you do it, right? And I've been doing that a lot more as of late because of what we're doing here. One of the biggest words that scare me more so than anything than being a piece of shit father is being a hypocrite when it comes to a lot of this shit. Saying one thing but then acting on another, doing something totally different, right? Other people may not feel that way. Like since I was young, right? People have always told me like, man, you have a great voice for like preaching. you have a great voice for pastoring, right? And they would always ask me, like, are you a Christian? Are you what church you go to? And man, I'm not gonna lie to you. Some of my responses, if y'all know me, you already know what my response is gonna be. And they were extremely disrespectful. Now I don't do all that or whatever because it's not really that funny anymore. But back then, oh man, I kind of turned up a little bit. But I would tell people that the reason why I could go into ministry, but the problem is I don't believe any of it, and I don't want to do something and get people and talking about this and the other if I know I don't believe any of this. And sadly enough, and ironically enough, y'all have no idea how many pastors and reverends out there do not believe in the shit that they talking about. They don't believe in that book at all, whatsoever. But they do it because they kind of feel stuck in the career that they've chose. Me and Jessica were talking about that today, where we got into the field of human services to help, and then you kind of feel like we feel trapped a little bit in this. You know what I mean? Like we feel trapped. So again, man, that's gonna happen. Um, but then you face yourself, and then you start to respond or react. I put not react, but that happens though. You're either gonna respond to this shit or you're not. Plain and simple. And the cool thing is that you have the choice. Do or don't. But no matter what, the accountability and responsibility is on you. You know what I mean? And like I told you before, responsibility means what? Responsibility is something you do. It's an action. It's a duty. It's an obligation. So you either do or don't, right? The abyss, the death and the rebirth. Some of us know about the death and the rebirth because we've known about the story of Jesus, right? Um, there were about 16 other stories just like his before him. I'm not necessarily saying that none of them were true or this and the other. I'm just telling you there were 16 other ones that we know of before Christ, right? So this story is just something that's been told time and time again. But for myself, although I may not necessarily be a Christian, I love the stories. I love the value that you get from the Bible and other biblical texts because I think that it can help us in so many different areas. So many different areas. And breaking down, even when you think about the story of Christ, and again, I don't, maybe you feel godlike or not or whatever, that's irrelevant. But the story of a person coming from obscure, ordinary life, being called to do something, denying it multiple times, eventually meeting a guide, which his guide was, who was his guide? John the Baptist, right? That was his goal. That was his boy, right? And then what happened? He stepped over that threshold, right? And then if you remember him walking 40 days and whatever during the wilderness and this and the other. So we know that there's going to be trials and tribulations during this. And again, at some point there's going to be a death where the old you dies and the new you is reborn. That happens with all of us. You see what I'm saying? Can I get a hell yeah? Like I've been there. I understand that on a deeper level, and I'm not talking about a real a theologian level. I'm talking about on a personal level. Tell me hell yeah that you understand what it means that a part of you passes on, but another part of you is rebirthed out of that. Thank you guys. Okay. Jessica said hell yeah. D said that's deep. I'm just telling you. Like I said, I'm not a Christian, but I love them good stories. Love them. I love them. What about you, Anita? Are you still with us? Now, Anita, between Anita and Naomi, like they are like that I know of. Renita, I'm not really sure about you, but like those individuals, like Naomi went to Bible college, so she has a bachelor's degree in theology or whatever. So we have some pretty cool conversations, when it comes to theology and stuff. But the great thing that I love about this is because if you go to the second one, it says surrender, release, and reimagine who you are. Right? If you think about, if you're going back to your boy Jesus, he said, "When I leave here, when I come back, I'm coming back with a sword." He said, "I'm coming back to hug all y'all, to do this and the other." No, that man said, "I'm coming back for war, champ. I'm coming back for war." Period. Right? Or one of my favorite movies in the whole world is The Matrix. Right? And if you remember at the end of The Matrix, Neo, passes on. Agent Smith kills him in the hallway. And then he is reborn. He's rebirthed. And during that rebirth process, he becomes something so much more. The ordinary was never ordinary again. Right? And we're going to get to that because I fucking love that part, right? But you have to surrender some of that shit of you, that old part of you, right? And then you release it and then you reimagine who you are. When I talk to you about your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, what the fuck do you think we're talking about? We're talking about the old you visualizing what that new you looks like. What does that person have? What do they do? What do they make? What do you want to be, do, have, give, or go in life? Right? I mean that's the future you, correct? If you say that, hey, I want to go on vacation, you're not going on vacation tomorrow. You want to go on vacation in the future. So who you are now has to meet up with the person that you are in the future. Correct? Just saying. And the motherfucker right now may not even have the money, but the person in the future will. So that's why we surrender that part of who we are now to make way for the shit that's coming later. I'm a shoe fucking junkie. Dead ass. But I have a rule. And I'm doing that with my books now. If I know I'm not going to read it, I have to give the book away. If I get a brand new pair of shoes, I got to give another pair of shoe away. I haven't bought a pair of shoes in about 5 months now. Because I know if I buy another one, I got to give another pair away. Right? Books, though, I don't mind. Because there's some shit I'm just not going to read them. But you got to give it away. Why? Because you have to make room for new shit to come. So, sorry. Hold on. Sorry, somebody was in the kitchen. I thought it was my guy again. Sorry. Right? Okay, so from the lowest point, you rise more rooted than ever. And that's the point that I love about this is that you start off at a humble spot, right? You're like the lowest of the low because that's where you're starting. Think about it. A part of you passes on, right? But a different part of you from the same body has to rise up. How's it gonna rise up? It still needs that same body. It's just part of that process is gone. That part of you's died. Another part has to be reborn. So that's the reason why you start from the lowest point because that's where you ended at. Remember what I told y'all that responsibility, you need to understand where it starts and stops because where yours stops, somebody else's begins. Everything that I'm teaching y'all is all systematically connected to everything else. Everything. It may seem like, because Lord knows, I likes to talk, but it's all connected. I promise you. So when you're starting off from that lowest rung of that point, remember, we move up from there. That's all we're doing. And yeah, you're going to be at the fucking bottom because that's where you are. When I said I wanted to make $10,000 a month, I was still at 3,500, right? So I had to shed that 3,500 mentality in order to make 10, 15,000. And again, like I said before, I never even made 10,000. I went from 7,000 to 14, never even hit the 10, right? But a part of my thinking passed on, and another part of my thinking began. You see what I'm saying? I'm not a millionaire by no means, but once I get to that threshold to doing, which I don't really give a fuck if I do or not, but I have a certain number. My number, and again, we've all talked about it. My number is 26,978,266.13. Again, you gotta have a number. If you look back at my old videos, I said the same exact number. Matter of fact, here, because some of you may be thinking, can you remember that backwards? Yes. 31662 Boom, just saying. It's odd because I can't say the number backward, but I can say the number backward if you get my drift. So 13, 266, 978,000, 26 million. See what I mean? Like, that's my number. So anyway, let's move on. All right. So, like I said, when I get to that stage, a part of the motherfucker who makes 15, 16, $20,000, that motherfucker gotta go so the other guy can take over. So, in order for me to learn this, something else has to die off. See what I mean? So that's all that's all that is. Anyway, so before I go to the next slide, I have to tell people who I am because we got a bunch of new people coming in. My name is Fearless Cummings. Welcome to Ask Fearless. Today we are talking about part 2 of Joseph Campbell's The Hero Story. I'm your host and life coach for the evening, where we talk about our dreams, goals, aspirations, problems. And as your coach, I'm going to give you some tools, techniques, and strategies to reframe those things. Ready? Ready. All right. So, number 8 is okay. So, the revelation and transformation. This is where you no longer chase confidence, you embody it. Can I say that one more time? Where you no longer chase confidence, you embody it. Can I get a matter? I don't even need a hell yeah. Can I get a fuck yes? If that's what you're trying to get to, because Lord knows I am. So can I get a fuck yes? Like tell me that don't sound good. Oh please. Like I said, me first. I gotta put it out there. Fuck yes. Right? Oh, there it is. There's my sister-in-law. She said, "Oh fuck yes." See that? She said, "Oh fuck yes." Hold on, man. That's a lot of money. I wish you're so funny, Miss Anya. Yeah, fuck yes, thank you, Chair Bear. Say, what about you, D? What about you, Anita? What about you, the mad scientist? Yadi, Jessica, what do you guys think? Fuck yes. When you no longer chase confidence, you embody it. Remember when we talked, I think it was like maybe the third or fourth episode, and we were talking about that poverty stench that certain people got. Y'all know what I'm talking about? That poverty stench. It's like, oh, what's that smell? Motherfucker, you smell broke as fuck. That's all I'm saying. And again, it's not, there's a certain smell, like, I'm dead ass, not even gonna lie to you, but it's a certain mental, psychological smell. You know what I mean? She said embodied. That part. That part. Right? This is where you own your story, where you own them scars and the power that goes along with it. And the power, think about that. The power that goes along with it. Hold on, Chinese, hold on. Bowls. Um, so there's this thing I think it was Japanese. Max, actually, I think it's a Japanese. I want to show you guys something. Oh God, that was horrible. Okay, Japanese bowl with gold. Okay, I wanna show you guys something, and this to me is so deep. Do you guys see? And I know you guys are probably oh shit. Sorry, you have his fearless, yes. Sorry about that. Give me a sec. Did it swap it off? Someone still come on good. Can you guys see this bowl right here? I don't know if you can or not. So there's these bowls, and I need to try to. It's called the kintsugi repair. It's like but it's a certain word. Hold on one sec. Hold on. What is it? Kintsugi. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering the shit out of it. Okay, so basically, what it symbolizes is that embracing imperfection, and you find um finding strength in your brokenness. So embracing imperfection and finding strength. It encompasses a profound meaning and philosophy beyond mere repair, reflecting an aesthetic perspective on the way that people live. It's the idea of accepting imperfection and impermanence and transforming them into something valuable. So what am I saying about that? It basically means that they have these images, these things, right? These bowls. And these bowls are like busted up, they're broken, or they're all kinds of shit, right? Yeah, I'm like, can y'all still see me? Am I still there? Okay, I think so. Okay, and for some reason I'm not seeing me on. Oh, there I am. Um, but so what they'll do is like some of these bowls, that gold that they use, they will break bowls on purpose just to refill them back up with with the gold filling. Because here's the cool thing about it: when they break again, it'll never break again in the same spot that it broke before. So wherever you see the gold inlay at, it will never break there again, ever. I mean, unless you break it on purpose. But for the most part, it's not going to break again in the same space or the same place or even the same way. And it's basically, we are the same way. Once you got broke one time, for the most part, you ain't going to break the same way again. When you have one heartbreak, and I'm talking about when you have that heartbreak, when you're on a bathroom floor crying and snot bubbles, and you just like, oh my God, I'm about to die, and you dry heaving and shit, you really don't go, you gonna go through that one good time. After that, your crying will be that horrible. You might shed a tear or two, but it ain't gonna be no knock down, drag out, oh my God type of cry. You know what I mean? I remember one person was crying in my room like that. I'm like, man, you're gonna have to excuse yourself to the bathroom. That is ridiculous. We're not doing that. And I know y'all think I'm joking, and I promise you I'm not. So anyway, but that's what accountability is. Okay, it's when you own it all. Hold on, let me go back. Sorry about that. But that's when you own your story. You own the scars that go with it. But that also means that you own the power that comes along with your story and them scars. Oh, hold on. Rebecca said something. She said that I love. She said that I love these bowls like I love visible men. And yeah, people do sweat. Oh, okay, okay. It's cool as fuck. Okay, yeah, that's what's up. I love that too. Love that. But I mean, for myself, I really look at it from a philosophical and approach and a coaching standpoint because it's what I do or whatever. But I remember reading about that and was just kind of enthralled by it, right? And then at the end of this is that you see how, excuse me, you see how everything led to you becoming who and what you are and where you are. Think about that. Everything that you went through previously to get to this standpoint, the death, the rebirth, the transformation, the stepping over the threshold, finding the mentor. And again, you're gonna find multiple mentors. I like to think I'm just one of many that you're gonna find. But if I'm doing my job and you're listening to anything that I'm saying, hopefully you remember to stay open because your guys will always be there. It won't be me. It'll be anything. You might learn something from a working in school with a kindergartner. Now we can learn from anything and anyone. So I would hope that we stay open to learning. Like I said, I thought that when I was gonna make my $10,000 a month, I could have promised you it was gonna come from life coaching. I could have promised you it was gonna come from teaching. I could have promised you it would have came from consulting. Not at all. Not what's I made money doing it, but not what I was talking about doing. It came from something else. Okay. So be open. Be open to everything. The return with the elixir. This is that this is that part right here. This is that part. I need to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. People are now showing up again even more. My name is Fearless Cummings. Welcome to Ask Fearless. Stay tuned. But yeah, like this is that elixir. This is let me ask y'all a question. I'm being honest. I'm not being honest. I'm really asking you this. Let's say that you live where you live. You go on this journey, and again, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just talking shit. You go on this journey, and something tells you to go dig up something or whatever like that, and you go dig it up, and you find that there's like this whole amount of gold. And not only is it gold, but it's now yours. Nobody's claiming it. You have $200 million now, or whatever. Like you went through all this stuff to get to this place, this point. And then eventually you go back to where you started from. Do you think that you're ever going to see things the same way again? And fuck the money. We're not even talking. Whatever that thing is for you. Do you think that you're going to show up the same way than when you left? I don't know what that change would be for you. But I know if I went back to that car that I was sleeping in, I know if I were to go back to that basement that me and my son slept in, I would be going back there with a totally different perspective. Totally different perspective. Matter of fact, that perspective would probably inspire me more so than anything else, probably would. Why? Because I have a visceral experience with that. So I'm asking, how many of you say I, if you've experienced something so profound that you couldn't even go back to the same shit that you were looking at before. And if you do go back to that situation, you're going to see it from a totally different standpoint. Let me get an eye. You come back with a whole bag of tricks and empathy. Renita says I. Tools, techniques, and strategies that you learn from some guy who was just giving this shit away to people before he started charging a fuckload of money for this shit. He was just giving it away. Oh, Fearless? Yeah, I know him. You know that dude charged me $25,000 for that shit? That's crazy. You know, he was giving that shit away for free with us. Really? When? I don't know. He was doing it for like 3.5 months. He was advertising that shit everywhere. Certain people showed up, certain people didn't. We got it. I mean, where were you at? Good stuff though, right? Yeah, some great stuff, but goddamn. Well, where were you at when he was giving it away for free? Right? You now lead connected. Thank you. You now lead, you serve, and you shine from experience. All the shit that I went through brought me to this point right here. All of it. I mean, think about it. I wouldn't be able to really connect with y'all, I don't think, if I didn't have the experiences that I have. I mean, let's be honest. Would you be listening to me right now if you didn't really think that let me ask you this. Would you be listening to me right now if you thought I was full of shit? Would you be listening to me right now if you thought I was full of shit? See, Dorian and I, again, I mean, shit, been on and off knowing each other since we were children. You see what I'm saying? So, when I talk about my upbringing being in foster homes, group homes, institutions, lockups, Dorian can attest to that because when I met her, I was in Boys Town, right? Dorian and I used to write letters and shit back and forth to each other. Majority of the places that she was at, I was at the same exact ones. Matter of fact, I think before she got kicked, whenever she got kicked out of a place, I was just going to that place. We were together, yep, together and separate. She got me through a lot of my childhood, man. Dead ass. Like, no, it was crazy, right? So again, I mean, this isn't anything that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I'm talking about this shit, it's not just something that sounds good. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I actually went through. Right? Me and Jessica, she sent me this life coach and stuff. And they were talking about how they make over, I think it was like $1 million. No, it was like $400,000 a month or something like that. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But I'm looking at it. And you ever watch something where you're like, something don't feel right about this? So I'm looking at it, and then I go look at her husband's stuff. And I'm talking to Jessica, and I'm just picking all these things out. And I'm just like, whether they do it or not, that's cool. Hey, it is what it is. But I'm just kind of like, what the fuck? Like, like, we don't connect with each other at all. So I'm not going to listen to them. They can be giving me the best news, the best anything, but I can't listen to you because I don't connect with you. At that point, I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. I don't connect with you. Like, we don't have that same type of upbringing at all. And it's not even the upbringing, because I could be around people who grew up with silver spoons in their mouths and we still connect. But there's just so you know what I'm saying? Like there's certain people that it's like, I don't know what it is about you. I don't like you. And people have told me that before to my face. I don't know what it is about you, bro. I ain't feeling you. Fuck, honestly, I can respect that. Shit, I'll live with me. And sometimes I don't like me either. Just throwing it out there, right? But this is where you no longer just live, you lead others into their lives as well. And that is where I hope that I'm doing for some of you, right? I mean, I talked about making a certain amount of income and then I started doing it. I was in all kinds of situations that, for the most part, I put myself into, but I also got myself out of that shit too, right? And then was able to write up a bunch of stuff that worked for me and then taught other people how to do the same exact thing, right? And that's all we're doing, okay? That's that's literally it. And that's what Return with the Elixir is. It's going somewhere and then coming back with some tools, some techniques, some strategies, a different mindset. If I could talk to the person I was living with at the time, I would tell that individual, hey, I know why you're broke financially. I can tell you why. It's your thinking, it's your actions, it's your habits. Let's switch that up. Everything else will change too, guaranteed. Guaranteed. But most people are not willing to sacrifice that shit. They're not going to be willing to put in the fucking work that is going to take to do it. And sadly enough, when you love what you do and you're good at what you do, it ain't going to be no work at all because you'll get lost in it, right? Just saying. I'm just, I'm just you know, throwing it out there. But anyway, ladies and gents, I think that actually concludes our thing. So I wanted to ask you real fast. So here are I'm gonna I hope you guys can see that. Can you guys see that? Okay. Um Here, matter of fact, I'll try to bring the other one down. Well, no, well, I guess I can ask you about these ones. So which one of these do you resonate with the most? How about I ask you that? Because you already told me what you did yesterday. But which one do you resonate with the most? You know what I'm saying? Is it the again? I don't know if y'all can see. I wanted to give you all of them, but I think it's too small. Um, Matter of fact, you know what? How about we do this? Because again, I am who I am, and give me a second. Let me do something. Let me do this. Copy. Talking to myself. Sorry, y'all. Okay. I will go over and hold on. Paste. Okay, can you guys see that now better? I'm standing there kind of backwards. Sorry about that. But those are the obviously the full 9 stages or whatever in general. Yeah, y'all should be able to see that. All right, so Jerry said 6, 8, and 9. Okay, so 6 trials, allies, and enemies. See that? And you also got to remember too, your allies, they don't necessarily like you, but they also don't dislike you either. But your enemies, unfortunately, they they're going to come guys as your friends. Damn, Jerry and Yachty got the same exact ones. No, they don't. Sorry. Yachty had 6, 7, and 8. Jerry has 6, 8, 9. 6, 8, 9. Okay, return with the elixir. Okay. Yachty has 6, 7, and 8. Right, the rebirth, the abyss, the rebirth. Right, ain't that deep? Like I said, man, like this story. You give me any hero from any story, and I guarantee you, I can walk you through. Man, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, man. This shit gonna bother me. Hold on. Sorry. I'm not OCD or nothing, but that shit just like mad bothering me. Nope. Sorry about that. Hold on, please. Cop going here. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. That shit like man, like it gotta be a certain. Okay, there we go. Oh my god, like I'm. That shit's so bothering me. Like it needs to be right. Um, but like yeah, so when I look at these, um, the allies. So I like six. I like uh I like 6, 7, and 9. I like 6, 7, and 9 because I've been through that. You know those trials and tribulations. Your frenemies are gonna come. Your friends are sometimes gonna be your fucking craziest enemies. You know what I think? Sometimes I'm gonna give this to y'all real quick. You know it's so crazy. Like sometimes I'll be sitting there thinking, because me being a life coach and philosopher, my brain is always just running. And I was sitting there thinking one day, I was like, could y'all imagine Jesus, like I'm Jesus for a minute, right? And I'm Jesus, and I'm talking to somebody, and my boy walk up like, "Hey, this is my boy over here, Jay Boog. Man, this is my guy. This is my right hand man. Oh man, what's your real name? Oh, my name's Judas." It's like, dude, you know what I mean? Like Jesus and Judas were amazing friends, amazing friends. And so when you think about, when you meet your mentor, when you go over that crossing that threshold, right, of no return for the most part, because even when you return, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna be able to unsee what you saw, if that makes any sense. Does that make sense to y'all? Let me get a hell yeah. That even if you go back to 5 and you try to go back to the ordinary world, you've seen too much. I want y'all to really think about that for a minute. And here, I'm gonna make this bigger because like y'all, like I need y'all to please, 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 please. Um, I need you guys to screenshot this shit. I need y'all to take this with you. You know what I'm saying? Make this something that's yours, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like this shit to me, I don't know about y'all, but when I really started to understand this stuff, like it really fucking changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Like again, like I said, when I read this shit, it's one thing. When you live that shit, dude, like I said, show me any story in history, any story. Jesus, Pythagoras, uh, Plato, Socrates, uh, John the Baptist. Shit, if you really want to get techie about it, show me anybody, but the Prophet Muhammad. Show me anybody, and I will walk you through this. And it don't matter who it is. It doesn't matter as long as they are somehow real in some way. I can walk them through this hero's journey. Every person that you can think of will get they benefited from one of these. And here's the thing, like I said before, you'll benefit from it as well, just knowing it. See what I mean? Like I said, everything that we do is connected, y'all. It's all connected. Everything. Okay. There was one last thing I wanted to give you. Um, I don't know if I have it on here. Give me a second. Hold on one sec. I want to give you this, and then I'm done. If you guys don't mind. Oh, please. Oh yeah. So I want to leave you with this, and I think I'm gonna say this for now on before I let you go. You are not broken. You don't need fixing. My job here is to offer perspective. Nothing more, nothing less. Tonight, when you rest, which I hope you do, I want you to sleep well. I want you to dream big. Until tomorrow, I bid you adieu. I like that. That was pretty tight, wasn't it? Now I got to write all that shit down. I freestyle most of it. But either way, good night. I will see you fuckers tomorrow. Bye. Happy birthday, Anya.